Now, you're very welcome along. My guest at this time, as generally a wrestling event would start, would be to my left, first of all, we've got the man who goes by some other monikers as well. You know, Becky, 2 belts at one point.
Big Time Bex.
Big Time Bex, I think, was one of your favourites.
The last kicker.
The last kicker. I think Big Time Bex, you're still at this point, aren't you?
I don't know. As of Monday, really, the man. But I'm always Big Time Bex.
Always Big Time
Always
Bex.
the big time. Welcome to the big time, lads.
Well, welcome to Off the Ball, the winner of the first ever all-women's WrestleMania main event as well.
That's
back
me.
at Mania 35.
Yep.
And we've got the demon beside the man. We've got Finn Bálor, again known as many different monikers.
Little time Finn Bálor.
Founder of the Bullet Club, former Judgment Day leader, former Universal Champion. I promise.
First ever Universal Champion.
I promise I won't bring up 2016 that often, because I'd say every interview you are now sick at this point of talking about that buckle bomb, the injury, all that type of stuff.
Pretty much, yeah. But sure, we can address it again if you want to.
We'll see where we go.
Yeah.
That is Finn Bálor, who's here as well.
Yeah.
Guys, you're very welcome along.
Thanks
you're
so
very
much for having us. Yeah, it's great to be home.
We end up
That's
talking about
lovely.
Ireland pretty much entirely before we actually start the interview.
Yes.
And let's continue that right now.
Yeah, because look, the big news is Raw is coming here. So we're going to have
Huge.
a road to Royal Rumble, which is going to be a European tour for you guys. I'll find out in a second what you like coming to Europe. But first of all, Becky, how much do you like coming to Dublin? Because we're going to have Raw at the 3 Arena for the very first time.
I love it. I'm very excited. First time ever, Raw is going to be in 3 Arena live on Netflix. It's amazing. It's amazing. And it was very cool to be on the first SmackDown live.
The very first segment, I was there.
Yeah, the very first segment. People didn't like me too much.
Well, this is what I was wondering, right? You work in your hometown and you tell this lovely story to kick things off, right? Where you go, I was here once upon a time.
It's all true.
Randy Orton caught my eye at a live event and he looked across and I knew that was the moment I really wanted to get into wrestling. But you guys don't deserve to have an event here whatsoever.
Well, you know, and then I went on about the lack of appreciation, lack of op-eds of all my great achievements. You know, they were kind of... No statue. There's no statue.
No Mark
There's no
Rugby
Becky
players
Lynch
everywhere.
statue. There's no pictures of me in the airport. And I will say, we've got a few more months until we're back. So I
knows what you're there.
expect all of them to be rectified.
Indeed. I think there were 2 moments in your promo which I really enjoyed. One was Katie Taylor. You said she might be a great boxer, but she can't cut a promo.
Can't you cut a promo on?
Beautiful line.
Oh, thanks.
Did you enjoy working heel in front of your home crowd? Because everyone
That's
wanted...
amazing.
So that night, right, everyone was excited. John Cena, you know, last time tour and all that type of stuff. Becky kicks off the show. Sheamus had been on just before that, so everyone's a little bit riled up and everyone's ready for the hometown hero. And I thought it was going to be a Bret Hart situation. You'd come out, be the baby face. I'm not in America, so I'll just do this. And you went, you know what? I'm the greatest female wrestler of all time. Sports Illustrated say it. And you just decided to wind that audience up. And you
An
went for the pan in
American
hand.
publication.
Your
Yeah.
hot American husband.
With my hot American husband. Yeah, really. And I called out Oscar Wilde and James Joyce for not having a New York Times bestseller.
I never will
I
at this
do.
stage.
They won't. They won't. But I do.
You must have got some kick out of
So
it.
where's my plaque? You know, where's my plaque, Ireland? You have a few more months. We're back January 25th. I expect my statue in Grafton Street as my preference.
Okay.
Yeah.
Don't over Collins Street. You have to decide the city. Fair enough.
Do you know, actually, that's unbecoming of me. I am a North Sider. O'Connell Street will do.
Fair enough.
Yeah. Henry Street, actually, could do with a statue.
That must have been a lot of fun, though.
It was great fun. It was to have your home
You're working
town
heel. It's difficult to
chanting,
do that.
shut the F up at you without the F part.
Indeed.
They said the full word.
Well, they did, but Netflix then, the poor old Netflix editor, as they had to go to work earlier this week about your Dominic Mysterio line as well, they had to go and cut it out.
They did. I make a lot of work for these people.
You're a SmackDown guy at the moment, Finn.
Yes.
So I don't know if you're going to be on the Raw card when that comes around. Things shuffle around.
I really hope I am, because just past January we got to do Raw in Belfast, and getting to perform on the island, there's no place like home, really. Like, the energy that people bring here is for me personally, it's different than anywhere else. And that night in Belfast against Punk was probably the best night of my career.
Yeah, there's your intro playing in the background at the moment from that night against Punk. And
Yeah, just the energy in the building was special. It was special.
your family were there as well. Like,
Yeah,
these were almost two hometown bouts. So you got the Belfast, he got Chicago. And if you got like 20 of your family and friends who were there, that's pretty special, right?
Yeah, it was unbelievable. And it was just, I don't know, you kind of think you've done it all, you know, and I've been around a long time and had like a lot of highs, and you never really think you're gonna like surpass some of the highs. And that night was perfect in every way. Obviously, the result didn't go the way but I wanted, but everything else was so special. I had about 25 family and friends there. It was my mum's birthday the night before, so it was the first time I'd been home in Ireland for my mum's birthday in years. She was in the front row. The whole crowd serenaded her with happy birthday after the show went off the air, and it was a real special night. So I'm sure, like, you know, Three Arena is hopefully going to surpass that.
Yeah, like you weren't going to work heel that night. This was kind of around about the time of the turn. You got your music back, which everyone loved, as we saw in the intro there. And also kind of was the start of that kind of run to WrestleMania where eventually you would work with Dom. But that must have been incredible, the reaction you got that night too. You said to the cameraman actually at the start of that, I can't hear my music.
Yeah, and it was obviously the return of the old classic Finn entrance music, and I was coming out, and obviously, you know, you want it to be the entrance, right? You want it to be perfect. And when I went out, the energy was so insane that like I couldn't hear the music to hit the pose at the right cue in the music, and I felt so stupid. I just felt like I had to like tell the people like in that moment. I didn't want to wait a second longer, so I just turned right to the camera, right down the bar, and said, "Can't hear the music, sorry." But yeah, no, it was brilliant.
So Punk was elsewhere when you came into WWE at the start, so you hadn't worked him before.
No.
I know you said to Chris Van Vliet a few months ago that like there was maybe this reputation backstage he was a bit of an asshole or he was difficult to work with.
Yeah.
That was not your experience with him though.
Yeah, no, there was a lot of like concerns that when he was coming back in, like, is this gonna be the Punk of old that you've heard all these horror stories about, or is it gonna be a different person? And I experienced a completely different person. Super professional, nice guy, great to work with. And hopefully get the chance to work with him again in the future.
Yeah, as fans, really two really, really good matches, both that one and the one in Chicago as well. When it comes to music, Wonder Years did a damn good job on your
Oh, they crushed it. And I will say, coming out on Monday, just there, it hit differently. You know? That little hard left turn to babyface really felt like you could really feel the angst there. I love it.
Yeah, I know it got worked a little bit, and then you had to get the man comes back around at the start, which I think like everyone then knows at that point it's you. Because initially when the music came out, it was like, whoa, wait a minute, because you had your old music for so long.
Yes, yeah. I had my other music the entirety of my career. That's a decade in WWE on the main roster.
After MC Hammer.
After MC Hammer. Can't Touch This was my indie entrance music for those people listening.
How did the Indies get away with using that?
Well, because it wasn't being watched, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, it was just when I came out.
Those 15 people are going to snitch on you.
It was so good.
But the song itself, right? So I do like the fact that you know you're mates with the band, and Seth's mates with the band as well. So obviously helps to connect it. But like I was thinking about both of your dads here. I'm thinking about your dad particularly, and for anyone who saw Unreal, you're talking to Triple H about like how much it means. So 35, your late dad was basically front row at MetLife Stadium watching it, and like I love that line. You know, I speak to your ghost every night in my dreams.
Yeah,
it's gorgeous.
Yeah, because the singer from the band from the Wonder Years, Dan Campbell, I asked him, I reached out and I was like, would you guys, if I can get it cleared, would you do my entrance music? And wrote back immediately, yes. Then he got on calls with me and he's one of the most amazing lyricists I've ever come across in my life. Like, I listen to his music and then I'm texting him going, how did you come up with this stuff? And he just talked to me and he asked me a bunch of questions and then he just took all of that and wrote it, and the things that were super meaningful to me, like my dad. And there's a line in there about like I'll burn it down, which is a little tribute to my husband, my hot American husband, Seth Rollins. And he says like I'll rue the day, which is my daughter, Rue.
Yeah, no, it's really lovely, and it's you don't generally get it personal, and also at this stage where generally Def Rebel are doing most of the songs, it's rare enough. We got Oasis at the weekend with Nick Aldis.
Oh, that was unreal, wasn't it?
Generally, it's like we do this all in house.
Yes.
Did you have a job getting that over the line to actually allow
that?
Yes.
Yeah. There was lots of
negotiations,
discussions, and conversations, and But we got it.
You did.
We got it.
It was worth doing.
It was worth doing.
The thing is, well, Finn, your dad has had a big influence on all this, well, including your name at the moment. So your dad, look, kayfabe is dead, so here we go.
Yeah.
Finton's your dad,
Yes.
so you're using half of his name.
Yes.
And you're using the legend of Bálor to create Finn Bálor.
Correct. Finn McCool versus the one-eyed demon king, Bálor. And we kind of like put the two characters together to kind of Jekyll and Hyde, David versus Goliath kind of style. And obviously, like anytime something new comes around, be it like a new entrance, a new gear, a new name, a new music, people kind of like push back against it, you know, because everyone had associated me as a, you know, completely different name for so long, you know, and they're like, what's that name? What's Finn mean? You know, what's a Finn? And what's a Bálor? But as soon as kind of we explained the situation to people, which in most cases, once you explain the meaning behind things, people kind of get it. And yeah, I'm really glad I done it. And from a personal standpoint, now I kind of like having the separation of the two, like the before WWE character and then the WWE character. And it's wild to me now that I used to, I guess a lot of like adults were more fans of me before I went to WWE, but now like kids only know me as Finn. They don't know this Prince Devitt character that I had beforehand. So for me, that's a real like feather in the cap of the work that I do at WWE, not really relying on my past, and just like focusing on the present, you know.
I will say also, you are the most, how do I say this? I have never met so many fans that have named their kid Finn as after him.
That's cool.
Like the amount of fans, do you find this, that you meet and they're like, oh, his name is Finn.
Yeah.
Or sorry, his name is Finn.
Yeah.
Technically, you know, your dad is partly the reason here, but I mean, you've obviously inspired them.
Yeah. Yeah, I get a lot of cats as well named Finn.
Cats,
yeah,
alright,
dogs
yeah.
named Finn.
Fish would be a good one.
Yeah, Finn
Yeah.
the fish. Yeah.
But when it
no,
comes-
obviously that's like super humbling for someone to name their child after you.
And there's loads. There's loads.
Even in the States.
And, like, that's what I'm saying. In the States, they're like, this is my son, Finn. We named him after Finn Bálor.
Let me just go on record as to say none of these are my kids.
Yeah. When it comes to convincing, how much convincing does your dad have to do? Because you're mid-30s when you make the jump from New Japan over to WWE.
Yep.
We've gone over just the 10 years now at this stage, really. Some people would have said, 34, this guy's already worked the Tokyo Dome, he's already done these big matches over there. What the hell is he doing going to NXT?
Yeah. Well, I always go back and think, if I hadn't have went to NXT, I probably would have like burnt up like a meteorite in WWE in the first 2 years. And the stuff that I learned in NXT, like I'm still applying to my craft now. And I remember being in NXT about 3 months, and like you said, I'd a couple months previous just done the Tokyo Dome in front of like 50, 60,000 people. And then all of a sudden I'm, you know, doing rolls and bumps in a warehouse in Florida, like preparing me for what? Like I feel like I am prepared, right? And I remember at the having a conversation with my coach at the time, Terry Taylor, saying like, Terry, like I'm 34, like I'm wasting my career here. Like these are my prime years. I need to be in the ring. I need to be on the show. And he simply said, Finn, the style you've been wrestling for the last 16 years, if you continue that, you've got about 2-3 more years left in the tank. I'm trying to teach you a style that's gonna like extend your career and get you like another 10 years in the ring. And here we are 12 years later. And like I feel better than ever. So I owe a debt of gratitude to Terry Taylor, one of my, and a lot of the other coaches at the Performance Centre as well. Norman Smiley, Matt Bloom is someone who I've worked very closely with. And all those guys really, really helped me kind of adapt to the different style that WWE is, because it is different. You know, it's still a wrestling show. It's still in a ring with 4 sides, but it's a very different style. The cadence of the matches are different. You know, how the crowds react to things differently.
You're telling the story to the camera in a very different way, too.
Yeah.
He's far too humble to admit this, so you can say it, Becky, on our behalf, right? He's 44. That man, 45.
Doing great, isn't he?
Right, same age as Hogan in his prime in WCW.
That's wild.
This dude looks in unbelievable condition.
Yeah, did you see those side-by-sides? There was
2016 and now it's like
there was the
same
meme.
guy.
Yeah, but there was a meme going around of Hogan and Finn at the same age. Did you see that?
Yeah, I seen that.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's
There was a meme of him and himself, 2016 and now, and it was like,
Oh yeah, no, he doesn't age.
that's insane though,
He's
isn't
got a
it?
great skincare routine. Must do. What do
Well,
you use?
With all that
this,
paint,
look, a
what
lot
do
of
you use?
this,
A lot of water.
a lot of water,
Oh,
yeah,
look at that.
A lot of water.
and no
And it's
processed
free.
foods.
No processed.
That's the
Yeah,
key.
his diet's
Processed
insane.
foods is the key. Look, I know we're on a lighthearted wrestling show, but like, why poison yourself every day? Like,
Yeah.
yeah.
Like,
Because it's delicious.
I mean, I was hearing how clean you live, right?
Yeah.
And I'm so delighted that Chad Gable is Intercontinental Champion right now.
Yeah,
in the
he's
year
one
that
of my
he's
best
having.
friends, by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But, like, he
And
gets-
someone who I admire, like in and out of the ring, very, very much.
Yeah. He pushed you back on the carbs. You go over a decade without a carb.
Yeah, I was kind of on this like kind of keto style diet, it worked for me at the time. It was very easy to maintain on the road. You know, sometimes it can be hard to get the meals that you want. So like maintaining that kind of keto style meant I didn't have to like count calories or anything like that, which I still don't.
Yeah. I got the feeling you're not going to a Wendy's window when you're driving around, though.
Once every 2 weeks, like I'll have like a nice little cheat meal. But no, like it's weird. Like I'll drive past those places. I'm not going to name anything, but like I don't even see it as food. You know, like for me, food is like eggs, bananas, avocados, like chicken, like a single source, single ingredient item. You know, it's not a mix of garbage.
Well, Becky does enjoy some of it. Hopefully we've got the quote ready on this one. Here's Supermax, Obama Plaza. I'm assuming you were travelling between Dublin and Limerick at the time. And here you are with some iconic Irish things, Mr. Tato in the background, and you got your Supermax back.
Oh man, it was better than I remember. I'm a sucker for a Supermax.
Right.
A Supermax sausage as well, especially. Sorry for they're just the best. They're amazing. They're incredible. That's what I miss about. That's the food that I miss. Whenever anybody is like, "What food you miss?" Oh, sausage. An Irish
Seen
sausage.
Mr. Potato Head there in the back, or whatever his name is, Mr. Tato. Like you're just giving me memories of like a crisp and cheese sandwich, like an easy single and
look
crisp
it.
sandwich when I was a
Stop
kid. Yeah,
With-
I could
with-
probably do one of them today now.
With Billy Roll. Like Billy
What's a
Roll.
Billy
Do you
Roll?
remember the Billy Roll from Super Quinn? And it had the little face on it, the smiley face. Do you remember the Billy Roll?
Yeah.
Billy Roll was
Stick
amazing.
some crisp in the middle, I like it.
Yeah. And when we used to go down training in Bray, there was a Super Quinn on the way. Now, Super Quinn's gone now. What is it?
Yeah, they've converted, but you know what? They still sell them as Super Quinn sausages.
Oh yeah,
Even though
yeah.
they're gone.
Oh, I love a Super Quinn sausage. But anyway, so we would go from the dirt station down to St Andrews, and we would stop or to St Brendan's. I can't remember. Maybe
Would have been St. Brendan's to go past Super Quinn.
Yeah, and you go past Super Quinn. We get those rolls, those fresh baked rolls, and then we'd get a lump of Billy Roll, and we'd stick the Billy Roll in the bread, and that was their fuel.
That's good nutrition for an up and coming professional wrestler.
I think he's being sarcastic.
Just a bit. I mean, Finn, how proud of you of what she's done? You mentioned going to wrestling school there and working through, but what she's achieved since.
Yeah, it's absolutely incredible. And she had this like aura when she walked into the gym at like 15 years old, that like you could tell that this girl's different than everybody else here, like boys included. And just seeing her getting to rise to like superstardom and like seeing her to main event WrestleMania. Now I'm starting to even get a little bit emotional because it's just so inspiring for me to watch and like have like a front row ticket to like watch her grow into this incredible star. I feel very, very lucky to be able to be so close to it, you know.
Yeah, he's going to make you well up now at this point.
Stop.
Yeah. But
Thanks, Merlin.
I mean, you broke through in WWE in such an interesting time. So first WrestleMania is the last one for the Divas belt, Butterfly belt, gone. Women's Revolutions happened at the time. 4 horsewomen are coming up from NXT at the same time as well. It culminates largely with your run 2018, 2019 and into that Mania where you main event. But like, what an interesting time to be coming through as a women's wrestler. So different to maybe what would have happened for the people before.
Yeah, no, it was, because when I started training and I used to, God bless, he had the patience of a saint because I was so bad. He said such nice things about me, but I was so awful. And I remember like at one point crying to him and being like, I just want to like wrestle like the guys. Can you teach me how to do that? And I remember him saying, that's what I've been trying to do. And he never treated me any differently, And then when I went out into the world, I suppose it was a bit difficult to navigate in independent wrestling. And I was a kid still at the time. I was 18, 19. And I think where I envisioned myself going was just seemed so unrealistic. And I left for 7 years and I think I always beat myself up. I did beat myself up. I had so much guilt about that because I felt like I'd been given this gift of discovering something that I loved and was so passionate about it, and I bottled it and I left and I abandoned it. But I think if I hadn't done that, if I hadn't been gone for those 7 years, I might have gotten signed. I might have gotten signed at 20, 21. Would have gotten into WWE, and I wouldn't have been ready for it. And I would have been there at a time where they weren't ready to give me what I wanted, as well. And so the fact that I did leave for those 7 years and I came in at the time with the girls that I was with Sasha, with Charlotte, with Bailey, and that we all had this vision of where we wanted to go. We wanted to be treated like the lads. We wanted to be the main event stars. We didn't think that it should matter what gender we are. We just loved wrestling and we wanted to be good at wrestling and we wanted to tell good stories. And thankfully I did come in at that time.
Yeah.
Well, I came in at the tail end when we still weren't allowed to punch and we weren't allowed to use stairs, and everything we did was the first time ever. First women's tables match, actually there had been a tables match, but it was first women's singles tables match, first women's ladder match, first women's this, first women's rumble, and to have gotten to a point where now that's not the case anymore.
Yeah.
Is really incredible. Spectacular.
I guess, look, it took a while for you to find your niche in terms of what you're going to be within that company. I remember when you first went to NXT, they had you dancing like a leprechaun at the start. Maybe that was creative, just giving you the
Not
start.
that they did.
Was this your idea?
This was one of those things, right? Like where, like I was on the chopping block from day one when I came in there, and because I was so I had left for 7 years and had gotten signed, and I felt like such a fraud. Like I had no right to be there. I was so messed up in my own head. I could barely put one foot in front of the other, and at the time there was it was kind of gimmicky in NXT a little bit,
yeah.
you had Emma doing this dance thing, and I remember just coming out being like, all right, I'll just be the stereotype, I'll just do it. And then I did it on they would do these PC shows, and I started doing, and everybody started singing this diddly diddly dee. Oh, I don't know, I can't remember the tune anyway.
It's not too far off.
Yeah, but and then it was just that'll be the money maker, just do that.
Little
And I
did they know.
did do that. In my debut on NXT, I came out doing the world's worst. Oh God, it's so embarrassing. Only Shockmaster has had a worse debut,
no.
and I actually don't think he did, because I think that I had the worst one because I intended to do that, whereas Shockmaster did not.
He just fell over.
He just fell over. He didn't intend to do that. The intent was I was going to go out and do this, and this was going to be a game changer. I was going to be the person to main event WrestleMania one day.
But
that was my goal. That was my goal, and that was what I did.
Yeah.
I thought those two could correlate together, and that, that's ridiculous. That's insane.
Well, I was going to say, compared to what the character 3 or 4 years ago would have made of that girl who starts out in NXT, it's ever so slightly different. I mean, you get over in the most organic way possible, though. It's almost, you had decided, right, I'm going to take this ball and I'm really going to run with it. You talked about Vince's brass rings and all that type of stuff. But after Nia Jax hits you in the nose, and after you decide, you know what, I'm just going to go and burn people on the microphone now at this stage, you just built that connection with the audience.
Well, I'd been doing that beforehand. I think that the way that the Nia Jax punch happened, that really cemented everything. But it was actually the run up to that, it was everything that kind of came in. People started to like me because I was overlooked constantly, but I was always online doing stuff that was probably stupid, but I thought was funny. And I think they were like, oh, this lovable idiot, hopefully she'll get a chance, and then I had a turn on Charlotte, and she had been in the audience eyes the golden girl, and they wanted to see me, and so it was just all kind of lightning in a bottle. And then, I had a bit of a sharp tongue that
Just a bit.
hurt some feelings and continues to.
It is.
And but when you're not that big, sometimes you gotta use the weapons that you have.
Indeed. Finn, she lives the gimmick all the time. Social media is I'm working all the time.
Yeah.
I think you're a bit more old school, and I think in an ideal world, you'd probably prefer if kayfabe was still here.
Without question, yes. And also, I do not live the gimmick. I find it very hard to like even pretend that I'm a professional wrestler. And I know, like deep down, that if I was willing to give more and like say more controversial things, it would be way better for my career and my position in the company.
Oh, it's terrible for your mental health, though, I will say.
But I just
24/7 on.
yeah. But I don't want to say like it's a, I just can't. I don't know. I don't know. Is it a dignity thing? I don't know. Is it like a shyness thing? But I try and keep it based in reality as much as I can. And I'm not the type of person who's going to say like mean things to you. Like I would rather just use my like wrestling as the words. And that's always kind of the way I've been. And I know that the words are more impactful and they can, clip it and put it out online, but it's not who I am. So I'm not here pretending to be someone else. I'm not, like, I know the name's different, but it's just me, really. And maybe that is also part of my appeal to people.
Yeah.
So I don't know, maybe that's why people say, like, I'm going to name my kid Finn. Because he seems like a nice guy.
Get the feeling you're not going to be on Real Season 4 then?
Look, if they ask me to do it, I'd love to do it, but they're not going to get the same content that they get from Chelsea Green. They're going to get a very, like, different side of, they think it's this big Finn Bálor superstar who the crowd do the entrance with, but really it's just Fergal from Bray, like, with the volume just turned up, like, a little bit, But as soon as I get back through that curtain, the volume's gone right back down, and like I'm back to normal.
By the way, I think a lot of people probably aware already of the fact that as a family you had to keep Seth's injury under wraps ahead of SummerSlam 2025. I did like that you said to him, don't go out in your ring gear.
Oh.
If he had, that would have ruined the whole thing.
It would have ruined the whole thing. Yeah. And, he can wrestle in pants.
Yeah. Do you guys talk creative all the time?
All the time.
Is that
all
tough?
the time? No, not at all. It's wonderful. It's amazing. It's
just
amazing.
both love wrestling, so you're happy.
We both love wrestling, so we both talk about it. We're both interested in it. We both spend hours booking the territories. And of course we talk about it. But he's got one of the greatest minds in wrestling that I've ever met. And outside of wrestling, he's just a great, very intelligent man. But so getting to talk about the thing that we care about is just normal.
When you get home, do you switch off?
Ancient history.
Yeah, so I hear.
Yeah, that's all I completely switch off.
Is that like
if you walked into my house, like, you wouldn't know like a wrestler lives there.
Really?
Like, there's no paraphernalia or memorabilia anywhere. It's just me and my wife and my cats, and probably like YouTube on with some Egypt.
If I went to your YouTube algorithm, is it just literally ancient history all the way?
Pretty much, yeah, and Tottenham.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bray as well, part of your heart. So you've got a seagull tattooed on, don't you?
Yes.
It's on your arm?
Yeah, it's on my forearm here, yeah, for Bray. But speaking about Bray and ancient history, yesterday I got to spend some time with my family in Bray, and where I grew up, there's like a woods kind of down the back of the estate. Is that what they call it now? Yeah, because they call it a subdivision in America, so I've started to say subdivision sometimes. But I went down the woods because when I was a kid, there was a castle down there, and it was built in 1440, and it's like this abandoned castle. And when I was a kid, we used to get down the woods, but I was always too scared to go to the castle because I was afraid that the farmer with the gun was going to come and like shoot me, right? So last night, took 10 of the nieces and nephews down there, and we climbed up the castle, and it was brilliant. Yeah,
that's cool.
That's class. You made a donation to Bray, didn't you, during COVID as well?
Pardon me?
You made a donation to the club during COVID as well, didn't you? Maybe he's not going to remember this. Certainly the story going around was you threw them 500 quid at the time.
Yeah, I think it was 50 quid maybe.
Maybe. They put 0 on it when they put it on social media. That's when I first saw the tattoo and the fact that it was on your arm at the time.
Yeah.
You got to spend. You're going to Zuffa Boxing, both of you, this weekend. So Zuffa 10 is on in the 3 Arena, where you guys are going to be in January for Raw. And you've met the McKennas a few times, Finn.
Yeah.
They were telling me all about it when they were here in the studio a few weeks ago. They were in Bournemouth. They were like, here are the pictures we got with some of the wrestlers, and we hung out with Finn a little bit. They're big wrestling fans as well, aren't they?
Yeah. First of all, I want to talk about Zuffa Boxing. I was in Bournemouth. I think it was Zuffa 8, and it was absolutely unbelievable. The main event, CBS against Ryan Rizicki, was like Rocky Balboa. Like, it was one of the most insane fights I've ever seen. And both fighters made like a fan for life out of me. But yeah, got to meet the McKenna brothers there, like lovely fellas. Got to spend a lot of time with them actually over the last month. Big wrestling fans, but like such down-to-earth lads. And like they have this quiet confidence that's kind of scary. Because Stevie, who was fighting the next day in Bournemouth, I bumped into him in the lobby of the hotel at 7 p.m. And I just waved over and said, Stevie, how are you? And he came over and sat down, himself and Aaron and their brother. And we sat there till 1 a.m. talking about wrestling. Now, this fella's fighting the next day. And I said, like, Stevie, like, do you not need to get to bed? Like, you've got a big fight tomorrow. He said, no, I'll be grand. So these lads are like, they're the real deal. And Callum Walsh as well, I got to meet, who's a lovely fella. He's fighting in the co-main as well. So, yeah, it's going to be a great night. But I can't remember what was the question.
Oh, just the fact that you spent a bit of time.
Oh
with them.
yeah,
Just
no,
'cause they
yeah,
were raving about you when they were here.
yeah, big wrestling fans. Like, I was blown away because I met Aaron doing the panel at Zuffa 8, and like I just like introduced myself as like, Finn, nice to meet you, and I thought like he's no idea like even like what I do or anything. But we done the panel, and he was very polite and shy, and then afterwards I got to know that like he's a huge wrestling fan. He'd just been to WrestleMania a couple of weeks before, and the boys are sound. Yeah,
When he was sitting in that chair, right, he got his phone out and he goes, let me show you some of my wrestling pictures.
Yeah.
I was wondering where this is going. He goes, here's me with Eddie Guerrero when I was 6. And I was like, all right, this guy's legit.
Yeah.
Last time you were in that arena, you're slagging off a boxer and Katie Taylor. How much are you looking forward to going back to the 3 Arena for boxing on Saturday?
She gonna be there?
No, I think she's got September 5th on her mind at the moment.
All right, then I'm good.
Should be a good night with the boys. Everyone, when we put up that we had an announcement for you guys to make, we're like, is there going to be a PLE in Ireland? Straight away, that's the reaction. Straight away, people are like, oh, maybe it's SummerSlam at the Aviva, or maybe it's going to be WrestleMania. We were talking to Seamus a few weeks back as well. He was saying before his departure from WWE, he would love to see a PLE here, whether it be Clash or something along those lines. I'm sure, Becky, you would love to see that happen at some time.
I would love to see that happen. Yeah, fingers crossed. But that's not what the announcement is.
Certainly not.
It's
it is
not.
Raw coming.
It is Raw.
Would you like to see it as well, Finn? I mean, like, these
being
European tours are huge.
Well, personally, being someone who's already performed at Croke Park, playing for Dublin schools, I would love to perform at Croke Park.
Oh, that'd be amazing.
For WWE. But really, I have to say, we're coming here with Raw. And like, for me, Raw is as important as a PLE. Like, every Monday is just as important as every PLE. And the scale of the show is the exact same. Like, it's all the same production levels. It's all the same, obviously, storylines. But, like, there's no corners cut. And I think I said before, like, the Belfast Raw was absolutely spectacular. And
will this be even a bit more special?
It'll certainly, like, the geography of it, like having went to the Point Theatre as a kid, like to watch Shawn Michaels, like obviously going back to now the 3 Arena is it's special, man.
Okay. To finish out, can I ask you the really annoying question which every podcaster will do? I'll ask you first, Beck. What's your favourite match?
That I've had? I think it's me versus Bianca, WrestleMania 38. Yeah, one of my favourite matches. Because of everything that it took to get there. So coming back from having my daughter in 2021 at SummerSlam and taking the title off her in 26 seconds, and her being so gracious and so wonderful. And she had no real reason to trust me that I was going to fight to get it back on her, and things can change, and kind of they wanted to go a different direction, and but we got it, and we got the payoff, and I loved the story going into it. I loved everything about it. I loved working with Bianca. She's amazing. She's incredible. And then to sit there and watch her get that moment and in front of her family, it was amazing.
Yeah, you're at a different stage of your career now. You said maybe this is the last contract. I stress maybe. You've been working with people, I guess, lower down the card. You picked up the IC title. You went back to NXT briefly with their title and so on. Is that something you really want to do at the moment to get new stars over?
Yeah, I love being in that role, and I love working with younger talent and newer talent. And you know, I think when we came up, we were always trying to figure out how to be the main event stars without having worked with anybody who had been in the main, just because it hadn't happened. And so the fact that I've gotten to do all of these things, learned how to be a main event player, and I feel like I can kind of help bring them up. It's something that I would have loved coming up, and all the girls were amazing. They just hadn't been to the places that we've thankfully gone to. So yeah, I love being in that role. But you know, I think the flip side of it is that you can't necessarily always stay there. You know, you kind of have to be able to pivot through them.
People get bored if you're sitting top of the card all the time.
They get bored if you sit on top of the card, but you can't stay in the middle of the card too much, or then you just become the middle of the card. So you kind of have to come up for air.
Before I ask you that question, Finn, you don't watch back your own matches. So
No.
I don't know whether you've kept a catalogue or you're going on to cage match to see what the ratings are.
Also, by the way, I also do not watch my matches. So
Really?
that's my favorite match from. I
Memory.
have never seen it.
Okay.
Never seen it, but that was the match that I enjoyed the most. Sorry. Anyway.
She's an actor at this stage. I don't rewatch my own movies. I don't go to watch my own movies. For you, what's your favourite? And again, you're doing this off instinct and memory.
Yeah, I'm going off instinct and memory and feeling, and like what feeling like I had like when that match was finished. And it's a real strange one for me, but it was an NXT non-televised house show in Lowell, Massachusetts against Samoa Joe, where we dropped the title, yeah. And just I remember like taking the pinfall 1, 2, 3 and just looking around and like scanning the front row, and it was silence, and there was people like going, and they were like going, was that supposed to happen? And then it was like a delayed like, oh my God, there's a new champion. And then there was the roar, and like that like real organic feeling of like pure surprise, and like it shocked everyone. Like the boys in the back didn't know. It was that like, I think that's so rare in the business now to like have like to truly shock people. And that
You
for
seem
me,
to really love working Joe as well.
yes, Joe was like, I used to get this comment when I joined NXT at the beginning, and people say, no, you know what, you're so smooth in the ring, you're so smooth. And I'm like, oh, thanks, yeah, that's cool. You know, but it was actually not a compliment. It was like, you make it look too easy, because it kind of was coming easy to me, right? But Joe really taught me how to like show that you need to dig in and fight.
It's a fight, not a dance.
Yeah, and he brought that fight out of me, and like getting to work with Joe so closely for 2 years in NXT, like I really, really developed. And then like going back to what Becky was saying earlier on about like rubbing shoulders with like the upper echelon or the top of the card, when I came to Raw, like I was right in at the top with guys like Roman, Seth, Miz, and I was like learning from them straight away, and like that helped like my growth. Like I probably had like a quicker growth than anybody, because I was like put right in at the top. And I feel like I was probably like the most overtrained wrestler on earth, because I trained in Europe for 6 years, then I trained in Japan, and then I trained in NXT, and then I was kind of trained again on Raw. So like I feel very, very grateful for all the different experiences that I've got to have.
Absolutely. Look, you guys have got loads of commitments media-wise throughout the day, so you've been really good with your time. I loved your second run in NXT, by the way.
Yeah, it was one of my favourite parts of my career, and a lot of people like saw that like as a demotion, but I saw it as like, well, first of all, they came to me and asked me to help them when they were going live on USA Network, and they needed like some experienced guys that could kind of help carry it. But the fact that that was then coincided with COVID and the crowd got taken out of it, I felt like the cadence of a match has to be a certain way when there's a crowd that you're performing for. But when the crowd are gone, you got to change the cadence of the match and wrestle differently. And now I was wrestling for the cameras, so now I could rely more on my intricate Japanese wrestling style and like just get the headlock and grind the headlock and have them zoom in on that and not worry about the kind of the cadence of the bump, bump, shoot, reverse, bump, comeback style of WWE. So probably it was a mix of the guys that I was working with, like Adam Cole, Pete Dunne, Kyle O'Reilly, to also understanding that the crowd are gone and having to kind of adapt the style, and then having that ability that I picked up in Japan to kind of lean on. So yeah, that second run in NXT was for me was like probably one of the most enjoyable runs of my career.
It was great. I didn't like COVID generally, but I did enjoy COVID wrestling because one of the only things that continued to happen during that time. Guys, enjoy Zuva 10 at the weekend, the Boxing at 3 Arena on Saturday. Really looking forward to seeing you back in the new year, in January, for Raw. First ever, historic for Dublin, first ever live event. You're going to tell the people they deserve it this time. You're still a face. You do deserve to have us.
Do I? Well, we'll see. We'll see if I get that statue. On Henry Street.
I'd also like to point out, I'm actually a SmackDown superstar right now, but I would like the fans that are watching to start a petition online to
get Finn to Raw.
Get Finn on WWE RAW in Dublin.
Well, I was a Raw talent and I showed up on SmackDown, so yeah.
We'll
get you over there.
I'm sure you can have a chat with Adam Pearce and say, hey, one night only, we need Finn to have a match here.
It's official.
I'll put a word in for you. Thanks a million, guys.
All right, thanks so much.
Thanks a million.